there is a warrior, and for Zephyr, we have a hunter.
Druid.
We have a druid, I'm sorry. And for this game, we only have Zephyr's point of view, since Vortex had some slight trouble.
Damn it, Vortex.
I yelled at him over Skype, and this is not gonna happen again. At least it's only one game out of a lot, so that's good. If it happens in one best of 5 once, that's at least handleable. If it happens 3 times, I would need to talk with the whole team, make a community meeting there, and yell at everyone. And I really don't want to yell at everyone. That's kind of.
Let's be honest. That's exactly what you want to do.
That's kind of stressful sometimes. And Zephyr has an okay hand against Zulok. Already 2 Ancient Watchers. So if he's able to get 1 or 2 out and taunt those 2 up, it's going to be amazing. And there's also a Twilight Drake upcoming for 7 HP next turn. It's going to be a weapon if there's no silence from a Vortex. So if there's that one Iron Beak Owl, it's going to hurt.
Well, yeah, that would be devastating. But he already drops down very low. Oh, and he has a Sun Fury. And he could go for double Molten Giant Sun Fury Protector later on in the game.
Absolutely. And the one good thing with Sun Fury 2 is double Ancient Watcher Sun Fury if he wants to go for. Kinda wanted to Soulfire last turn, but you cannot risk to Soulfire to lose your Sun Fury. Since you really want to go for Sun Fury on the 2 Ancient Watchers. Wow, and he's even buffing it up to 4, 5. That's super annoying. Since now it cannot get Soulfired anymore. That hurts. And the main problem is he cannot kill that 2/2 either. So, yeah, he can attack and Soulfire it, for example, but that hurts, so no need. He cannot kill the 4/5 with his Soulfire.
There's 11 damage on the board.
Oh, if Vortex goes for a Soulfire now, that would be double Molten Giants incoming. Now Zephyr needs to wait 1 more turn. Well, I would say...
How about crazy play? Risky play.
Just Soulfire yourself, drop 2 Giants and an Argent Sun Fury Protector. That is possible, but...
I would totally go for that, just for the swag.
The problem is you got 2 Ancient Watchers in your hand, and the only way to use them is, well, double Ancient Watcher, Sun Fury Protector. The one play you can do now, and you can still drop 2 Molten Giants 1 turn later if you just drain yourself, for example. So you kind of don't need to do that risky play since you're safe. I want to say you're safe with those 2 Ancient Watchers. You're not absolutely, but it's okay. The most annoying thing is you really want to use your Soulfire to kill something, but if you do, you might lose one of your Molten Giants. Well, now he's safe. If there's no Doomguard incoming to rip away one of those.
Even then.
Well, he needs to Soulfire the Shattered Sun Cleric, I would have said. Because now if he runs everything in and plays a Doomguard, he could just deal those 5 damage to the face. So there's a possibility. And there are 5 hand cards for him. So we might see, yeah, Soulfire, Mortal Coil. Something in that direction. Just another Argus upcoming. Or another Shattered Sun.
Mortal Coil or even Elven Archer. Oh, another Shattered.
Nah, that's enough to kill one of those.
And enrage yourself.
And even a Soulfire, so that's pretty perfect. Oh, the Doomguard gets dropped. That hurts a lot for Vortex here. Like, the number 1 minion you want to have next turn, and he loses it. Oh, that's stupid. And you kind of want to keep your 8-2, but he cannot. Oh, he might consider killing the 2-3
to get rid of the 4-5.
Yeah, to get rid of the 4-5 next turn, if there is no Soulfire incoming. And you still need to consider, if you drop him down, there's still the potential of 2 Molten Giants.
With a taunt.
Now down to 12. 2 Molten Giants maybe incoming. And a Soulfire. 2 Soulfires. So everything goes according to his plans. He just plays those 2 Molten Giants. Soulfires 1 minion. Soulfires another minion.
Oh!
Jeez.
Nope.
That always happens.
He just Soulfire 1 minion, Mats.
Yeah, that hurts. The potential was there to lose, well, to get it done. The good thing is now there's Leroy, power overwhelming. That's 10, 18, 26 damage possible next turn. If your enemy drains himself once.
What? That's 30 damage if he doesn't trade.
Well, I didn't count the Twilight Drake. I just think it's dead, so it won't survive in my brain. It's the most likely to die here, and that's just so much damage. If there's no taunt incoming, it's gonna hurt so much for Vortex.
Oh, it's game.
And he had a good game. He had some really nice rush upcoming, but against the handlock, there's always that possibility of just getting melted away instantly.
Well, Zephyr's draw was perfect.
2 Molten Giants, 2 Ancient Watchers, and
a Sun Fury.
But there's even a Leroy for Vortex, and he brings him down to 4. And well, I would be happy and think I win the game here easily, but that's so much damage. With Leroy and power overwhelming, and just Vortex dies. 28 damage at 28 HP, and it's just so much damage.
32 damage.
Yeah, it's just crazy. He didn't even need his Drake. He would have won with it too small. Shaman versus a Handlock. You got those silences, you got Urshocks, you got Hexes. That could turn out good against Handlock.
True, especially against Twilight Drakes, the Urshocks are really, really nice. And Warrior's lacking those, but I think Warrior has an easier time to deal with the Giants, so it's kind of a toss, like what you really want to deal with. And if the Shaman doesn't draw the Urshocks, it's hard for him to deal with the Twilight Drakes as well. So I would prefer Warrior, just for me, but I can see a Shaman coming as well.
Well, I would say starts a game here, Mr. Producer, and Kai is just gonna hit this play button, and there we go. It's Handlock versus Shaman, so Vortex thinks Shaman works best here. The question is even, is it the anti-aggro Shaman, or is it the more mid-rangey version?
Wow.
Is he running 2 big Game Hunters? We already had that.
Look at his hand.
We got Ancient Watcher plus a Silence Owl.
Double Soulfire is not that great.
Double Soulfire is the only annoying thing in his hand, but already that Ancient Watcher plus an Iron Beak Owl next turn, and he has an Hellfire, so if there are Spirit Wolves incoming, he could just Hellfire if he really wants to, or even turn 5, turn 6. It's just so devastating to diminish a whole board. Well, Taunt Totem for Vortex, maybe. That would be the one annoying thing. You're going to silence your 4 or 5 minion, and then there's a Taunt Totem incoming. But also, if a Hex comes now, you lose your Silence Ancient Watcher, but then you ate a Hex.
Yep.
So that turns
With
out...
a Watcher. It's 1 Hex less against the Giants or Twilight Drakes.
A 1/1 Totem. This is so... Without a Mortal Coil, this is so annoying. The Taunter is good, but you kind of don't want to lose your 2/1 Owl now to a Totem.
Even plus KN.
It's a more beefy Handlock with... Well, as I call it, the beefy Handlock, with not only Giants, and Twilight Drakes, there's also Cairn. There could be a Ragnaros. I saw it in that version potentially too. But on Monday, I'd say Monday morning, midday, I'm gonna release all the deck lists again of week 3. So we have deck list week 1, week 2, and week 3 deck lists will be released too on Twitter, Facebook, on several, like Elite Decks has them too. Gozu Gamers is gonna release them too. There are a lot of sites, so you can grab those deck lists in the internet somewhere. That's no problem.
Everything is on the internet.
Everything is on the internet. And well, Vortex is looking troubled. 3/3 and 4/4 against him, and he just runs in his Cellness without doing a spell.
Needs the card draw.
And that hurts if you use your Cellness and you want to use it for a Lightning Bolt, and he even drew a Lightning Bolt with his Cellness, but he wanted to have it first to Lightning Bolt the 4/4 and then run in your Cellness. Or just a 5/5. He can just Soulfire attack if he wants to. Continue rampaging the face. Every time an option. If he attacks with his Unbound Elemental, he can just Soulfire it away. So next turn, Cairn Soulfire, for example.
Or Hellfire and clear. Probably, yep. Hellfire next turn.
This is absolutely perfect for Zephyr. It's just playing into
Wow.
his hands. The Ancient Watcher is going to die, and there's just an Hellfire incoming. And he could just play a Sun Fury Protector if he wants to. I mean, he has no giants out. It doesn't matter. And his enemy's overloaded, so there's no Fire Elemental incoming. Well, he draws a card. He wants his giants. He wants his Twilight Drake. If he grabs a Twilight Drake now, it would be super useful. If he grabs a giant too, he could play it for 3. Still no giant, but a faceless manip. So if his Cairn survives for a turn, he could just Soulfire. So many cards in his hand. It's so annoying. There are 7 cards in his hand, and Soulfire draws a frigging Soulfire. That's impossible. I'm just saying that's absolutely impossible.
Very, very unlucky indeed.
You
But he can trade.
You're calling it just unlucky.
Yeah. Or he could just Shadow Flame.
You could copy. I think you cannot copy. I wanted to. You want to say
perfect.
the same.
Get the Ancient Shadow Flame. See ya.
It would be funnier if he could have Faceless Manipulator his Cairn and then Shadow Flame his Cairn, and that would be extremely funny. But
he can Faceless and taunt them up next turn.
And that's perfect. Since Vortex is not playing a Hex by now, and he has a really crappy hand if there's no Hex incoming by now, and that's the danger with a Shaman. There's an Execute, for example, 2 Executes for Evoria, 2 Shield Slams. There are way more cards to kill minions, but the Shaman cards in itself, they're better to get rid of what a Handlock does, like a Hex, like an Earthshock. They're more efficient.
They're less.
But there are not as many as a Control Warrior has, as you said. So he has more means to deal with what Zephyr would throw in his face. Wow. Yeah, he kind of needs to do this to be super safe. Well, he cannot only...
Ancient Defender. I mean, he could also silence and just go ham. Because next turn, even his power overwhelming.
That's just perfect. It's just so perfect.
He could still throw down the Sun Fury, but he doesn't want to.
Well, he doesn't want to taunt him up to maybe get Black Knighted, but even that wouldn't turn anything, since there's Bane upcoming. That's 10 damage on the board with 2 Cairns. What are you going to do? You're on 8 HP. You lost your Spirit Wolves. You just you had to use a Defender of Argus for 1 totem, and obviously there's no Hex in your hand. So it's Auctioneer. And is he trying to draw his whole hand? Well, what could there be? A Lightning Bolt? Well, that's 1 card. If he draws a Silence now, that's absolutely perfect. He could at least kill one of those Cairns.
Wouldn't
but
matter.
He would still lose. Well, that's annoying. He had a Silence in his hand, but he didn't want to use it for Cairn. So maybe last turn he wished he had just silenced the other Cairn to make that Faceless Manipulator play not possible.
But even then,
and the lightning. So it's just his hand is pretty awesome. He can kill that stuff. But the one annoying thing is he didn't silence the Cairn before it got faceless, and that's costing him the game here. As we said, power overwhelming, GG. That must be so annoying for Vortex. You're holding your silence, but you're not using it since you want to kill a Twilight Drake. And Zephyr just goes for an 8/8 Cairn, and easy 2-0 here. I mean, that's a round 10 game. That was quite short.